Well, for all those who made the effort to be up since 5 a.m. in the morning, it was clearly worth it. They were witness to history being made down under. India defeating Australia in the final test match at Brisbane. Nobody would have imagined till yesterday that India could win this test match. Rohit Mahajan, till a few days back you were laughing at my suggestion that India could actually take a shot at victory.
I'm not sure whether you heard right. As I forecast a couple of days ago, very accurately, India won the match in the final session on the last day of the series, and I was right. But
jokes apart, really historical.
Fantastic. Yeah, nobody saw it coming. Yesterday we discussed it. We were hopeful that India would win, but chasing 328 in Australia in Brisbane, you don't expect that to happen. Especially with this sort of a team where you probably have 4 settled batsmen and the rest are rookies. It was very difficult to imagine an Indian win. So all credit to the batsmen, especially Pujara, the way he batted, I think 211 balls. He got hit on the body 12 times today. Shubman Gill set the ball rolling in the morning with a very fine knock of 91. Right. And then, of course, you have Rishabh Pant, who soaked in the pressure, hit the strokes, paced his innings, and hit some audacious strokes to take India to victory.
If we can go right since morning, if we go back to when they started off with 4 on the board, Rohit Sharma yet again failing. What would have gone through the mind of this youngster? Shubman Gill, I mean, having to score more than 320. I mean, what would have gone through his mind that time?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. I think the team was very calm, I think that's an effect of Rahane. I think they were sure what they wanted to do. They were sure that they would go for the target when certain conditions were met, when the score was certain and a certain number of wickets had been lost. So they would be able to go for that score and try to chase 328. I think it worked perfectly well. Shubman played a fantastic knocks. I think it's such a great find for us, for India. And the confident shots that he played both on the offside and onside, and the pull hit for a fantastic 6 and the straight drives. It was a treat to watch. And I think that set the tone for the day. Right. And on the other hand, you had Pujara, who was like rock. He was unmovable. He was hit on the body so many times, and he just was determined to stay there and lock one end of the wicket. So I think it was elementary after that. After their partnership, I think when Gill was out, they were 130 odd, 200 more to get. I think they were sure that they would go for the runs if they did not lose too many wickets quickly.
And what was the turning point when India actually started thinking that we could really make it, we could take a shot at this target? I mean, where do you think? Was it post or a little bit before the tea session that India realized that we can really get to the target?
Yeah, I guess so. When Pant started to hit his shots, right, and when he looked good, I think they had the confidence that now, yes, this is possible. If Pant had fallen early and the tail had been exposed, and if Washington Sundar and Thakur had been called in early to bat, I think they probably may have become a bit more conservative because we don't have much batting after them. Right. So but the way Pant was batting, I think that gave the team confidence that they would be able to bat right through the end and chase 328.
Also, something about the track. We were talking yesterday. You, in fact, mentioned that there were cracks on the track and perhaps it will take a turn and the pacers would exploit it. Something to do with the pitch was under cover for a good part of the morning, guys?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there were a few deliveries which shot up and went the other way. You might remember one ball that was an off spinner that turned the other way, and some deliveries did keep low, some jumped up. So, but it didn't really crack as such, and I think the Australians were not able to make full use of.
So what went wrong with the Aussies? I mean, they have the best pace battery in the world today. What went wrong? A little bit of pressure coming on them?
They were certainly under pressure, but I mean, they bowled very well. The fact is that Pujara was fantastic.
Right.
He just sued a one end. That was a factor, and the partnership with Gill. I think that may have demoralized them, but right until the end, they did bowl quick, and they were accurate as well. But I think overall, I think you have to give credit to India the way they batted. Also, the fact that all the batsmen, right from 5, 6, 7, Sundar, the shots Washington Sundar hit, they were difficult to imagine. It was difficult to imagine that a newcomer would do that, would hit the best fast bowler in the world for a 6-over square leg. So I think the fact that these people have played together in the IPL and they play similar shots all the time in the IPL against similar bowlers. Of course, there's no comparison between 2020 cricket and Test cricket, but I think that sort of familiarity would be there with the pressure, with the bowling. So that could be a factor in them being so confident and not looking first-timers in a Test match in Australia. So that's how I say.
Quite a valid point. And also, Rohit, let's talk a little bit about Pant's inning. First Test match, he was dropped from the team. He came back came back very strongly. He did well in Sydney, and now this, if you may call it a match-winning innings. Tell us something about Pant. I mean, there has been a lot of criticism that he's a little restless, edging to go for big shots, but that's how his style of cricket is. But do you think from now on you will see a much evolved, much mature Rishabh Pant, or he will continue with this style of batting?
No, I think he's being encouraged to play the way he is.
Right.
He's an X factor. He brings a certain amount of excitement to the team, and he can change the course of a match in one session.
Right.
He showed that in the previous match as well, and here as well. So I think he will continue to bat the way he does. What he actually needs to do is to improve his wicket keeping.
Which perhaps he did quite well in this Test match, at least. I mean, at least he's improved.
Yeah, he did. He did take a few good takes and catches. But he doesn't inspire much confidence, I think, especially against spinners.
Right.
So I think he needs to do that. Otherwise, as a keeper, as a batsman, I think he can go the way he goes, the way he bats. That's fine. But I think he needs to work on his keeping.
And also, moving on to the other series, now we'll be heading towards England. Now, a lot of pluses we take from this series. You have revelations of new cricketers coming up. You have a good bench strength now. You will have these your original pace battery back, but then these youngsters who impressed. What has been the biggest plus for India in this series?
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's the bench strength. Right. Who would have imagined that with all of frontline bowlers gone? A second string team bowling attack would take all 20 wickets in Australia and win us a match. Without taking 20 wickets, you don't win a match. You don't win a Test match. So I think that's the biggest plus. And Gill. I think Gill is a great discovery.
Right.
And the way he played in Australia, we all knew that he was extremely promising and very calm guy with a great temperament for Test cricket. But to do that, to actually score runs in your debut series in Australia, I think India would be delighted with that. And when the others come back, when the people like Kohli and the regular bowling attack comes back to the team, I think there would be an embarrassment of riches about who to include in the playing 11.
Right.
So that's a good worry to have for a captain.
Well, a good worry to have for a captain. There you have Rohit Mahajan, who has been bringing you the analysis on right through the series for this all-important fourth Test match between India and Australia, where India has defeated the mighty Aussies down under. They've taken the series. They've retained the Border-Gavaskar trophy, winning the series 2-1. Now they head to England for another important overseas matchup. But clearly, as far as Australia is concerned, Australia Tour is concerned, it's been a historic series for the Indians. Youngsters coming in, chipping in, despite losing 6 to 7 players to injuries. India managing to defeat the mighty Australians. We'll keep on providing you coverage on the upcoming Test series and also on other news updates. You can continue to log on to our website tribuneindia.com and also follow us on our other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Meanwhile, that's all we have for now. Thanks for watching.